Hello everyone, this is Flatline and I'm going to be doing a replay analysis, I guess you could say. So this will be the analyze this. I think this is my 8th episode of it, and I think I'm going to wrap up the season for it. I'm pretty late on it, so I'm sorry about that. Been a little bit busy practicing, learning some builds, learning some new styles, and today I'm going to be introducing a style that I've starting to learn a little bit more about, and it's gonna be just a heavy gateway, no colossus style. And partying was pretty much the inspiration for this build, so um, this is kind of rough because it's kind of weird and not making colossus as a Protoss player, but nevertheless, I shall do that in this game, and I'm going to be facing off against the Red Terran Vladimir on Shakir's Plateau. If it's a little bit dark, I am completely sorry about this. For some reason, my recording won't accept full screen, so I wasn't able to adjust like the brightness and whatnot. So I was stuck with the Windows full screen, so sorry about that. Alright, so I'm going to be going for a Nexus first on this map. Oh, and this opening right here is a hybrid mix of what most Protoss do, and then the Oz style, where he gets that forge and he gets a cannon in the front and basically does a pretty good amount of damage for you. Can kind of hold your ramp for a while. So at 16, I kind of stopped probe production real quick, so I get my gateway and my pylon. Once I get the pylon, I'm gonna start scouting now and resume probe production, and I should be getting my simulator next after that. Now after this, you want to get the forge, and it's not going to stop you from getting your cyber. In fact, you're going to be able to have exactly 150 minerals whenever that happens. Whenever I saw this SCV scout, and you know he's got it pretty early, which is what I was quite worried about. So yeah, I get the cyber, I get the forge. I could have got this forge a little bit early, and I think I should have done that way instead. I am chrono boosting out a zealot. You kind of need to know what's going on. I want to see what I scouted. Yeah, okay, so see, I set my probe up here and I scouted this command center. So this forge, I don't have to really produce a cannon here, because his pressure should be able to be easily handled with my initial gateway units. So there's no need to go about this. So now this forge just becomes a very early upgrade for me. Now if I didn't see this command center, obviously I probably would have put one down here and then try to scout what's going on. You know, count the Marines, just do anything where I can actually see what's going on and try to get a good read on what my opponent's doing. But since I saw the command center, pretty fast one, I am just gonna be playing normal, and he is as well. But he's taking one gas is pretty different from most of the Terrans. In fact, most Terrans, they either do that power rack style where they just make a bunch of Marines and push, and then behind it they either tech or they just double expand, or they expand quickly to a third, or they go with this double gas, 3 racks, and they just get star poured out, and it's like this 10-minute push with 120 food supply, and it's a pretty strong push. You know, a lot of Protoss really have some problems with it. I'm moving up to 4 gateways. I think it's best if you just go on my camera on this one. That way I don't make sure, I would make sure that I don't miss anything that I've seen. Also, you want to start +1 armor as soon as you're able to afford it. And constant chrono boosted upgrades is pretty huge in this matchup, in my opinion. Alright, and so I see his army. and I do not have enough against that. So what you want to do is back this up. This pylon is probably going to be sacrificed, which is all by means, you know, completely fine with me. I'm getting my warp gates done. So I'm away from our warp pins. And then I'm gonna push. Unfortunately, I did get supply blocked, so I had to pull some probes. Unfortunately. But I am going to survive this. And it was quite unfortunate. I did lose quite a bit in this engagement. My money's getting a little bit too high. And that's just because, see, I was thinking about expanding behind this anyways. Alright, so I lost a lot of probes in that though. If you look at the units lost, pretty much even, right? But I lost 12 workers in that, so that was a pretty good damage by him. 34 probes to 36 SCV. So actually, if you add 12, I was like 10 ahead. Wow. So it was initially 46 to 36. So I just got to be a little bit better with that timing. It's quite unfortunate. But nevertheless, I am getting +1 ground weapons, getting my robotics. I should be getting my Twilight Council soon. You want to get your Twilight Council about 50% of your upgrade. So that way, whenever this is done, while you're constantly chrono boosting it, Twilight Council will finish and it will allow you to continue your upgrades to get +2 armor. Now you see I put a pylon up here, I put a cannon up here. I want to put the pylon up here because I want vision up top, and I'm probably going to put a cannon up here as well to fortify that. So now I'm using my 4 stalkers that pretty much reign supreme, seeing what's going on. Come on. There you go, look, okay, I see. He's playing a little bit defensive. He's got 2 bunkers right here, and wow, he's actually making a lot of this. I guess his menu was failing. I'm going back to my camp, getting my simulators. Now, once you get the Twilight Council done, you want to immediately get your Templar Archives. And this is because of that drop timing that they do with the medevacs. You can basically able to squeeze out some High Templars, a couple at least, and you feedback and make them Archon. And it gets pretty good from there. And you just dump minerals into Zealots anyways, so it's pretty cool. So once you can start +2, your next 200 gas should be invested into Twilight Council while you're still making observers, of course. Now with this style, when you go in heavy gateway, the benefits of this kind of style compared to like Colossus is it allows you to be a lot more mobile, allows you to be more free on the map, and it works really smoothly with upgrades. So by all means, I'm going to be adding a couple more gateways and starting charge, like I said. And I'm gonna continue. I see his army move out. Okay, now I need to look. Okay, so he has his reactor right here. He's moving out, so he probably has 2 to 4 moving out. So I'm sending out another observer. You can see I'm still making more observers. Still chrono boosting forge. Getting my +2 armor on the way. And I'm just trying to stack up a bigger army. This is probably where I want to warp my units in. You can see I'm bringing this little boy over here. See if I can scout where his army's at, because that's the biggest thing. So now it's going to come down to force fields. He is only 1-0 as well as I'm 1-1 though. And this is going to be a little bit ineffective for me because it's MMM. Whenever you face MMM, and this is a perfect example, you can't really win with just only gateway units. The only when you're out on the field like this. If I was up on the ramp, force fields would probably help me tremendously against that. I did get my Archon. I was able to feed back his medevacs so that they're not able to actually rebuild, heal them, and so I'm able to a little bit survive a little bit better than this. But my Archon goes down. I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna attack with your cannon. This rig is pretty nice, so I get over here. With these 2 High Templars, I originally wanted to feedback this, but you know, crisis manager, I had to make it into an Archon just to stay alive. And now I'm adding 4 more gateways, so I'm up to 12 gateways on 3 bases right now. 68 pros to 67 SCV, so he's doing pretty good in his SCV production compared to me. I think I kind of stopped soon because of you could kind of be fine with just 68. You can see I pretty much have pretty good saturation on every single base. Yeah, see, each of them have at least 2 bars full of mining, and that's what you want at least while you're still having gas for all of them, and that's around 66 to 68. So it's fine by me. I am adding more High Templars. I want to get these as much as possible up there. He's gonna scan and stem. Oh my god, Zealot's in the back, not really helping out. And I'm just gonna warp in here, try to use them kind of like force fields, and I had deflected his pressure successfully. Alright, so I'm still getting +3 armor. That's the other big thing. Once I get +3 armor, I'm gonna start beginning my upgrades for my attack, of course. But beyond that, since I've held this off, I'm adding more High Templars. Do I have Storm on the way? Forgot to research Storm. I want to get Storm on the way. I want to add more gateways, and I should be getting a 4th. This style allows you to aggressively expand, if you haven't realized, like, because you're investing so much into your gas. The Charizards are pretty much, you know, free minerals for you. You still have this surplus of minerals in this style, and you can see I'm adding more gateways over here, adding photon cannons here, especially on this map. Now, adding this many photon cannons depends on the map. Because it's Shakur's Plateau, there's so many places you could drop. You want to have at least one cannon protecting almost the boundary of where Terrans usually drop. You can see I have observers all around the map in key places. One over here in the middle of the map, one over here on their side, and one over here inside his base. So you want to, like I said, you want to have a lot of observers. Now, another bad thing is I don't have an observer with my army. So if he had Cloak Ghost, it would be kind of an issue for me. But I'm trying to get Storm. Storm is on the way. It looks like he is going to try to drop here. You can see how these 3 cannons are going to help me a little bit, and it looks like he's going to stem up here. Now see, this is a little bit bad move by him. I don't have Storm, so I had to make these into Archons, unfortunately. He's able to get in here at what cost? He lost 2 medevacs and a bunch of his units. Over here, his whole entire army gets wasted. Do I feel like we traded? I think we traded pretty much even on that. But I do have intact most of my army, and he's rebuilding his right now. Now I see he has Ghost out on the play. You can see I'm gonna re-add my cannons, getting my 4th as well. Should have got that a little bit earlier. And you can see I usually grab 4 and just keep the rest behind here. Because of that Ghost, like EMP, you don't want to have all your High Templars come together. You want to have some in the back, so whenever they use all their ghost and their energy, and they're like, "Ha, I got all their High Templars," you come back here, grab your High Templars, and then you move up front, and they're like, "Uh-oh," and you just storm everything, and it's a pretty good feeling to have. I'm adding a Dark Shrine. Because I'm going to start incorporating some Warp Prism play, and that's the other thing I really love about this play, is Warp Prism. Like I said, it allows you to be a lot more flexible on the map, and when I'm able to get 2 Warp Prisms out on the map, it's going to be really difficult for Terrans to deal with it without killing. I mean, if they kill the Warp Prisms, by means, you know, a lot easier to deal with, but you have to kill the Warp Prism, because once I get 2 Warp Prisms, you don't know where I'm going to warp in. You don't know how many I'm going to warp in at each one. So it can get pretty scary for Terrans in that case. And he's getting a pretty strong army right here. I'm not maxed out yet, but my money's floating quite a bit. And so is his as well, because he is basically almost maxed. I am 2-3 and he is 2-2. He's able to fend that off, but the biggest thing is I have kept my Warp Prism intact. You see, I have my 5 High Templars coming over here. So look at that, he kills all that. I cannot believe I picked up an Archon. So I accidentally misrallied mine. And you can see how I bring these High Templars back from when I had in the beginning, able to storm all these units, right? He can't really EMP. Click all his ghosts, he doesn't have enough for EMP. Once like he's gonna be able to survive this though, so this is gonna get a little bit scary for me. I'm warping in a DT, but that's not gonna really save me whatsoever. He's gonna be able to pretty much scan this and take it out. And now it's getting a little bit rough. Now see, this is the first time I've been playing with this stuff, so you know, you can already see some faults in my plays. My macro is doing pretty bad. I am able to get these Archons out here, which is going to tremendously help me out. He's not able to EMP my Archons, so I'm able to survive. I'm going to be using my probes to defend. At the same time, I'm using this Warp Prism. I'm going to be harassing his economy quite a bit. Getting some DTs over here as well. Going to be able to deal with that. And this is completely defended, but I did lose a base though. At the same time, he basically lost his base. He lost all of his workers here. If you look at the worker count, I evened up the worker count. Remember how I lost 12 in the beginning? He killed a couple right here, and I was able to basically get all that back. So I wonder who's winning. Yeah, and you look at the units lost tab, it's pretty close to even at the moment. TTs are so good. And I'm just gonna be bringing these back over here. Probably gonna be expanding soon. I'm trying to get some more High Templars. High Templars are pretty cheap on minerals, and which will allow me to expand a little bit quicker than usual. You can see I'm moving a Warp Prism towards the main of it. Yeah, towards the main. Keeping some units over here. He scans. I'm not paying attention, unfortunately. He's able to take it out. But nevertheless, I do have 4 High Templars, trying to build up some energy right now. But this base is running pretty dry. This is already dead. So I'm basically on one base. And that's not a good feeling to have whatsoever. So I do see his army moving out, so that's why I've opted to not expand yet. Instead, make more units. I need to survive.
Mineral field depleted.
And I did some little harass there, but I kept my War Prism. Like I said, that's the biggest thing right now for me that's going on. I am 3-3, and he is 2-2 still. Alright, so what's going on here? See, I'm adding some more DT play right here, killing off his economy basically. I want to make it where he can't really get anything. And I'm going to use Warp Prism over here. And with this Warp Prism, this DT harass, it kind of keeps him within his base. Can't really move out until he deals with this a little bit better. So I am just relaxing. I'm able to expand behind this. We should have got this a little bit earlier. So it looks like he is going to come over here. He does EMP my army, but he doesn't EMP my High Templars, which is the biggest thing. You can see I have 5 High Templars back over here, storing up some energy. I'm adding a couple of more, and I have my 4 original right here. So you see how he's trying to use these High Templars, his ghosts, to kind of EMP all my army. You can see he has a lot of these right now, and he's going to probably EMP most of these. See right there, I'm trying to feed back these units as much as possible. And I'm able to kill all of his ghosts, which is probably the biggest thing right now. You can see that storm killing a bunch of his units. I'm going to make these into an Archon that's going to die. But look at this, I have all these High Templars back in my base. Could be able to defend my base pretty successfully. Just going to have to warp in a couple of Zealots, so you can see right there. And do the damage that I got to do. Basically, and there's the storm killing off his medevacs. It's pretty huge. Now it doesn't. He's gonna have to make more. He's gonna put more gas into it. And you know, just thinking about it, with this style, if you're able to kill so many medevacs, a hardcore transition into like double robo, quadruple robo colossus. I'm warping some High Templars. I'm not able to feedback both of these, but I'm able to feedback one of them. And that should be good enough. I'm able to warp in a DT to finish that off, and I kill off that medevac. And I'm probably gonna bring this with my army. If we go back over here, you can see I'm still harassing with this one Warp Prism. I don't have a second one, which I wish I did. which would be up here obviously, to stretch the army out. You can see I had this observer postured over here in the middle of his base, so I can see how many units are coming out. I can see his units that's coming out, and be pretty prepared from that. This observer should be a little bit more active. I feel like it should be maybe right here instead now, since I don't have that many observers. I have 4 observers. I have 1 with my army. 2. Oh, well, here comes some engagement. Look at all these High Templars I have. Now this is pretty risky, but I saw that he didn't have any ghosts, so I'm able to just go over here and pretty much reign supreme with my High Templars. Do as much storm as possible. You can see he's gonna try to go against this. All I gotta do is just storm this unit. You see they're not able to pretty much kill these High Templars, but my High Templars are out of energy though. But I am able to get this second War Prism, and this is where it's gonna get pretty good for me. I'm gonna be sitting pretty. My money is not ideally where I want it to be. This is a little bit off right now, but I'm able to warp some DTs over here, harass his economy. He forces my High Templars to force into Archons because I don't have enough energy for some storms, and this is where it's gonna get pretty messy. His whole entire army is, look at this, red, yellow, and orange, so they're almost dead. All I gotta do is get a couple swipes on them. He's still alive. I probably should have pulled some of these pros and did this, but at the same time, look at this, I'm killing his entire economy right now. If you look at the income tab for both of us, look at this, he is down to 12 workers compared to 47 of mine, right? So all I gotta do is try to keep this expansion alive. I pull these probes a little bit too late. He's able to kill it off barely, but he does kill it off, and it's quite annoying that he actually did that.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'm gonna keep this alive, and I kept this alive. If you look at the income, 9 harvesters to 47, but I'm not mining anything because I don't have an expansion to mine from. Him on the other hand is able to drop some mules over here, so he's pretty fine right here. I'm able to bring this into the red, which will probably die soon. Unfortunate for him. So I'm trying to mine as much as possible and try to get an expansion whenever I can. Moving out with my little small army, it's 68 to 46, so this is getting pretty ugly right now, I have to say. I got a DT over here, and this DT stuff, it's really annoying for him. He can't really, because he lost so many SCVs, you know, every scan hurts him tremendously in the economy. And you can see I'm just killing more workers as they come by. 9 to 47 again. He's just losing so many workers right now. And the units lost is pretty much even, and I'm gonna warp in some units over here. This War Prism unfortunately does get taken out. But at the same time, his expansions have been basically put to a halt, and he can't mine anymore. Let's look at the income. I mean, I'm only mining 460 right now, but I'm mining at least 47 workers to 9. But my excuse me, my army is nothing but 3 Dark Templars, 3 Zealots, and an Archon, and they're not even with my army. I mean, I have nothing but 4 units here, but I had 2 more Zealots on the way. And this is gonna get pretty nasty right now. I had these 2 DTs, which is gonna kind of help. Probably gonna be pulling some of my posts because I saw I killed so many of his workers. I do need to sacrifice some of this. Use my tank. Use him to tank while my Archon does 6 damage, 47 damage to these units right now. And then my DTs, of course, they do 60 damage pop. That's they got one-shot to these Marines. I'm mistaken. Yeah, they one-shot Marines basically. So that is pretty sick. It's down to 6 Marines and 1 Marauder to these 3 Zealots and 1 Archon, and I think I'm able to prevail. He does have these 3 medevacs, and that is the GG. So this style is pretty epic. Take that for sure. And obviously I've done so many faulty plays. You know, a transition would be super sweet, obviously. Because I killed so many of his medevacs, and medevacs are pretty weak on energy, and that's the other thing. Whenever you're able to make it where the medevacs don't have energy, that's a timing right there that you allowed yourself to open up for. Because if you're able to attack them, you can't really kill them when there's no energy. But if you sit back, you allow them to gather up some energy, then they can attack again, and they'll be fine. So things like that I need to take into consideration. Um, I did pretty good on the harass, able to deny these expansions, keep them pretty much running dry, because he kept me running dry. I mean, I'm long distance mining, so I got nothing to basically say. I probably should have mined right here better, because it's kind of closer, I think. Yeah, it's definitely closer. Um, what else could I have done a little bit better? Obviously use my observers a lot more. I had an observer inside his base that stood still for the remaining of the game. And it got pretty close, I would say. I'd say the biggest thing was probably transition and keeping my army together. If you haven't realized during these replays, I'm trying to learn how to do 3 army hotkeys, and it's getting quite weird for me because I'm not really accustomed to it yet. But I'm getting there close enough. So, anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I'm sorry for being a little bit late on this last episode. It's gonna be the last episode for the season because I'm in the works transforming that show or that weekly series that I do into a different thing. It's gonna be called On the Air, a little clever, a little original, yada yada yada. Um, and it's basically gonna be kind of like Day 9, basically, but specifically for Protoss. It's gonna be where I discuss about the metagame. It could be about a Protoss style, a Protoss build, the matchup. It ranges from everything, but the plus side um, to that kind of show is the quality of it. It's gonna be a lot better than these analyze this videos. It's gonna be where I go over multiple replays from a certain player or a certain style from different players, all that kind of jazz, and just more to it. There's just gonna be more, I guess, analyzing, going deeper into it than these weekly series. But the downside, of course, would be that it's not gonna be weekly, unfortunately. I would have to stock up on some resources, which would be the replays, and just basically do my homework on them. Uh, and go from there. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I really do hope that you stick by and watch the new show that I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to do it, like I said, while it's called On the Air, I want to do it live, which is going to be on my Twitch account, which is Flatline SE2, which I finally changed my name to, just to make it a lot simpler for everyone. It's twitch.tv flatline se2, YouTube's flatline se2, and my Twitter is flatline se2. Everything's the same now, so I don't want y'all to like remember what it is when you like 5 different names when it's just one now. So thanks guys for supporting me, for all those that have been sticking with me since day one. Y'all are awesome, and the newcomers, welcome aboard, and feel free to comment or leave a message to me if you need some help, um, or if you saw something, or is there a replay or a style that you want me to go over for the next show or the new show that's going to be coming up. I'm not sure when I want to do it. I do want to do it as soon as possible though. I am still playing around with some designs and the production value. I'm trying to make sure that it looks all clean and nice and professional before I go live with it, because a first impression is pretty big. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.